Please be seated. And Plisame Kalari. Placatni Tibiat Aficium and Kipiat.
Placat.
I would ask you to now stand for the prayer of invocation given by Chaplain Kevin Burke.
Let us pray. Spirit of life, today we pause and take time to acknowledge the accomplishments and achievements of a very special group of graduates. Our hope today is to celebrate this moment, to truly embrace our new graduates and those around us who helped them to arrive here, those who strengthened every step they took. Creator, for the family members who gave unselfishly of their time and their resources, to the staff and faculty who shaped this wonderful community, we say, thank you. Today we acknowledge you, author of life, the voice that binds us all together in spirit and in love. Be with our graduates. Dwell deep within them as the guide and compass for their ships as they sail toward light, love, hope, and goodness. Amen.
Please be seated. Your Honor, Mr. Premier, Mr. Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, distinguished guests, Professor Emerita, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 180th Insignia ceremonies. As with the graduating class today, the time has come for me to move on. Some of you may have heard I'll be retiring later this summer and looking forward, as I'm sure you are, to a new set of challenges. It's now 40 years since I graduated from UNB back in 1969, and 12 years since I came back to New Brunswick and back into UNB. I came back absolutely convinced that the university was crucial to the future of our province and to Atlantic Canada. You know, universities can be difficult, complicated, sometimes mysterious places, but at their best, they have the power to transform lives like no other public institution. And that's both in terms of individual lives and more collectively in terms of how we can transform society. You know, people often ask, what's your bottom line, whether you're a business or a foundation or whatever. Well, our bottom line is simple. It's you, our graduates, and the ways you're going to enrich the world that we can't even imagine today. This week we have 2,100 students who will be graduating from our two campuses. And over my term as president, we've had more than 18,000 graduates. That's our bottom line, and that's pretty special. And through you, our graduates, we have the power to transform society. It's an amazing, amazing gift that we collectively have. And you know what? We've entered now into an era of deep change. And by the way, I think the current financial crisis is simply an early manifestation of the kind of changes that we're going to be dealing with. We've entered into a period that's going to really require all your skills and imagination. For me, it's a little bit reminiscent of what happened after World War II, when the young vets came back home, and for the most part were the first men and women in their family to ever go to university. And after graduation, they built the finest society in the world, modern, middle class, tremendously rich economically and socially society. And you know what? 60 years later, I think we're there again. I think we've arrived at a time when we have to do some fundamental changes. You know, my generation, the boomers, we've been in charge for a long time. And there's no question that we're becoming complacent, cautious, and cranky. And like those young vets 60 years ago, the time has come to pass the torch to your generation. It's going to require a level of imagination and courage as we refashion our society. It's going to require a level of courage that we haven't seen in a long, long time. But you know what? I'm absolutely convinced that the class of 2009 is up for the challenge. Best wishes and good luck to all of you. At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to page 14 of the program, where the medals are listed for the insignia ceremonies. I should note that all other medals and prizes appear below the recipients' names in the graduation list. These medals and prizes will be presented at faculty award ceremonies, or they can be picked up at the Financial Services Office. On behalf of the university, may I congratulate all of the recipients and express the hope that you will maintain the high standards which has been demonstrated in qualifying for the awards. I'd now like to ask the Vice President Fredericton, Dr. Tony Secco, to assist His Honor the Lieutenant Governor with a presentation of medals.
Through the generosity of His Honor, Lieutenant Governor, a silver medal is awarded each spring to the outstanding graduating student in each of the university's 11 faculties on the Fredericton campus. I would ask each winner to come forward as your name is called to receive the medal from the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Business Administration is awarded to Catherine Lynn McKinnon. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Education is awarded to Alexandra Leah Clark. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Kinesiology is awarded to Kelsey Lynn Strudwick.
At this time, we will confer the honorary rank of Professor Emerita. The candidate will be presented by the Vice President Fredericton.
The Professor Emeritus distinction is awarded only to retired faculty members. Criteria for the honorary rank include teaching performance of exceptional merit, extensive research, publication of unusually high quality, creative contributions to the administration and development of the university, and a record of professional conduct that indicates fair and ethical treatment of students and other members of the academic community. Candidates must be approved by the university's Board of Governors. It is now my pleasure to invite Professor Barbara Trenholm to step forward on the platform. Barbara Trenholm is to be Professor Emerita in Business Administration. Barbara Trenholm is without doubt one of the very best teachers that the Faculty of Business Administration has ever had. She embraces change, new technology, and the chance to bring new teaching methods into the classroom. Her influence on creating a positive, student-centered learning environment at UNB and her contribution to chartered accounting education in Canada have had a significant impact on students, alumni, colleagues, and the accounting profession as a whole. Among her many awards for teaching is the Global Teaching Excellence Award from the International Academy of Business Administration. Professor Trenholm's scholarly work includes numerous articles in refereed publications and 2 accounting textbooks. One of these, Accounting Principles, is the most successful first edition in the history of higher education publishing in Canada. Professor Trenholm's record of service to the university, her profession, and the community is truly exemplary. During her 28 years at UNB, she served on more than 50 committees and was acting dean for 15 months. In recognition of her service to the accounting profession, she was named a Fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, an honor that has been bestowed on less than 5% of chartered accountants in Canada. Insignissime praeses, tota universitas, commendo vobis Barbaram Trenholm, ut ei conferatus honoris causa titulum professoris emeritae in hac universitate.
Ego confero tibi, Barbari Trenholm, ab Monero Tuawac Universitate, Deo signature explicit titulum ex statum, professoris emeritati Universitate Novi Brunswicki. We will now proceed to the conferring of an honorary degree. The recipient will be presented by the University Orator, Dr. Gordon Mason.
The Honorable Sean Graham, to be Doctor of Laws. Is it a tradition at the University of New Brunswick to honor the Premier of the province? It is our pleasure today to recognize New Brunswick's 31st Premier, the Honorable Sean Graham. A native of Kent County, New Brunswick, Sean Graham grew up in a political family. His father, Alan, served the longest consecutive term of anyone in the history of the New Brunswick Legislature and was Minister of Natural Resources and Energy in the cabinet of Premier Frank McKenna. In high school, the future Premier was a middle-distance runner who was a member of the New Brunswick track team at the Canada Summer Games in St. John in 1985. He continued to compete while studying at UNB and was a member of the 1990-91 Atlantic University Athletic Association championship teams in cross-country and wrestling. He also received an Athletic Achievement Award. After graduating from UNB with the Bachelor of Physical Education degree in 1991, he went on to earn a Bachelor of Education degree at St. Thomas University and attended Université Canadienne en France for a year of immersion studies. He worked as a substitute teacher before joining the civil service as Manager of Industrial Development in the Department of Natural Resources, and he was Executive Assistant to his father for 5 years. In the election of 1998, he won the riding of Kent, from which his father had retired, and he has been re-elected 3 times since then. He was elected leader of the Provincial Liberal Party in 2002, becoming, at 34, the youngest leader in its history. Building from a base of only 7 of the 55 seats in the legislature, he added 20 in the election the following year, leaving the Conservatives with just a 1-seat majority. In 2006, he became the 5th successive person to be elected Premier of New Brunswick while under the age of 40. Within a year of his election, he became chair of the Council of the Federation, the organization of Canadian premiers and territorial leaders. At the present time, in addition to his duties as Premier, he is the Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs, the Minister responsible for the Premier's Council on the Status of Disabled Persons, and the Minister responsible for the Office of Self-Sufficiency. He is also the current chair of the Conference of Northeastern Governors and Eastern Canadian Premiers. His colleagues describe Premier Graham's leadership style as collegial and remark on his ability to see the potential in others and draw out their best. His energy is legendary. At official dinners, he's seldom in his seat. He's passionate about this province and very disturbed about the outmigration of young people. His program of self-sufficiency is a deeply felt attempt to rectify the situation, and he understands, as a runner, that this is a marathon, not a sprint. A sports enthusiast and conservationist, Premier Graham has been active in both Ducks Unlimited and the Fredericton Atlantic Salmon Federation Committee. His leisure time is often spent keeping in touch with the grassroots, perhaps lunch with a longtime store owner or a visit to the cellar here on campus. The premiership of this small province has been a challenge to all who have held the office. Today we honor Sean Graham, a UNB alumnus, for accepting this challenge. Insignissime praeses, tota universitas, praesenter vobis, Ioannum Graham, ut admitator honoris causa ad gradum doctoris in utroque iure, in hoc universitate.
Ego minute, Ioannum Graham, honoris causa gradum doctoris in utroque iure, universitate Novi Brunswicki. It's now my privilege to invite the Honourable Sean Graham to address Insignia.
Well, thank you very much, Gordon Mason, for that very kind introduction. And you mentioned in your introductory comments that when I was elected Premier of the province of New Brunswick 2.5 years ago, at that time I was the youngest elected Premier in the Maritimes, but I have to say what a difference 2.5 years makes, because now I'm the oldest Premier in the Maritime provinces. But good afternoon, everyone, and it is indeed great to be here with all of you at the University of New Brunswick for this ceremony in the 180th Spring Convocation. And as Premier, I am pleased to be part of such a monumentous occasion in the lives of so many people. And as a New Brunswicker, I am indeed truly proud to receive an honorary Doctor of Laws degree from UNB. It's a mark of distinction to be acclaimed by a university that's made such an immense contribution to the intellectual enrichment and also the civic life of our province and nation over the last 224 years. So I'd like to thank the Board of Governors for conferring this singular honor upon me today. It means a great deal to me, and it always will. And I'm sure such recognition means just as much to my fellow honorary degree recipients, Patricia Lang, who is President of the Confederation College of Applied Arts and Technology, and Robert Quartermain, President and CEO of Silver Standard Resources, Inc. And on that note, I want to congratulate Patricia and Robert today. And I also want to pay tribute to my wife today, Roxanne, who will receive her Master of Arts degree in History here tomorrow, and who begins her PhD studies in the Faculty of Education later this fall. I have to tell you, I'm so very, very proud of her. And to all the business administration, education, and kinesiology graduates here today, and to every member of UNB's class of 2009, I want to say congratulations. You know, I have a strong sense of déjà vu right now. That's probably because I graduated from UNB's kinesiology program myself, right here at the Aiken Center back in 1991. It's hard to believe that that was 18 years ago because I remember my time here if it was yesterday. I really enjoyed the diversity of campus life and was actively involved in it, especially in sports. Now, it might surprise some of you, though, to learn that I never participated in student politics here. As a matter of fact, I didn't even take a political science course. My inspiration to run for public office came a few years later, following the departure of some of my best friends from this province. During my undergrad years, I had made a lot of new friends, some who today are still my closest friends. But after graduation, many of them had to leave New Brunswick in order to start their careers, and to me, that just wasn't right. I felt that I had to do something to help people like my friends, people like you in this arena today, to have the option of being here in this place to live and to earn a living. And I saw public office as the best way for me to make a difference. In my political career to date, I've been well served by the education that I have received at UNB. Fundamentally, of course, I learned everything I needed to know about kinesiology. But like all of you, I was taught much, much more at this university, something of immeasurable and lasting value. What I learned here at UNB was that people who challenged my opinions weren't enemies. Those who made me think about my views did me a favor. They opened my eyes to new ways to solve solutions. Learning from criticism is a skill that I use every day as a premier, believe me. But the spirit of higher education is to believe that a clash of ideas is healthy. And when we see that people with different ideas can share our goals, and when we can disagree without reducing each other to caricatures, we are stronger as a community. Above all, I learned that it's always crucial to be informed about issues before passing judgment. And I came to understand that all these things are important to much more than an individual's personal development and fulfillment. Critical thinking and informed opinions are the basis of intelligent and dynamic debate. Debate, which is the foundation of every democracy, including our own. In light of this, I saw how community colleges and universities like UNB really do make a significant difference in our society as incubators of critical thinkers, skilled professionals, and engaged citizens. And now, as Premier, I am passionately committed to improving the accessibility of post-secondary education here in New Brunswick and to ensuring that students, like all of you here today, receive the very best education our colleges and universities can deliver. Now, I'd be the first to admit that this hasn't necessarily been easy. In fact, we've invested a fair bit of political capital in transforming our post-secondary education system in New Brunswick. And in the coming months and years, we're prepared to expend much more, and my reasons are twofold. First, I want more people like you to have the skills, knowledge, and training to be self-reliant and to be whatever you want to be. And second, I believe that well-educated, hard-working people like you are vital to the future of our province. Right now, New Brunswick has vast potential, and each of you is part of it. It only needs to be harnessed. So I want to personally invite you to stay here and work with New Brunswickers to unlock that potential. Here in New Brunswick, we're working hard to provide opportunities for you to shape your own future, to be what you want to be, and to belong. And together, Together, we can shape New Brunswick's future. We can bring new opportunity, prosperity, and growth to our province, and in doing so, we can bring our province to self-sufficiency by 2026. Again, my congratulations today to the 2009 graduating class. Our province needs you. Happy graduation, everyone. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Graham. And now to the main event, the conferring of degrees and course. And may I extend to all of you who will be graduating today the warmest congratulations of the university. When you first came here as a student, you became a member of the UNB family. And today, all of this family, administrators, teachers, colleagues, and friends, we all share your pride in reaching this important milestone in your life. We recognize your hard work and sacrifice, and we wish you every success and happiness in the future. We hope that you will always value what you have learned here and that you'll remember your alma mater with fondness. As each of you receives your degree today, you will be presented with a University of New Brunswick alumni pin by the Associated Alumni. So let's begin. We'll begin with the bachelor's degrees, followed by the master's and then the doctoral degrees. Candidates for the bachelor's degrees will be presented by the University Orator.
The bachelor's degrees of Business Administration, Kinesiology, Science and Kinesiology, Recreation and Sports Studies, and Education. Candidates will remain seated for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, supplicant sonatui et hui venerabili collegio gubernatorum, hi baccalaureae vel scholares in facultate administrationis rerum negotiasarum, in facultate kinesiologica, in facultate educationis. Quorum nomina ex studia iam rite cognita sunt et promulgata, ut admittantur ad proprium baccalaureae gradum in sue quisque facultate.
Placetni vobis senatoris, placetni gubernatoris, any supplicatoris admittantur?
The supplicants for all the bachelor's degrees will now stand for the presentation and the admission by the President. Insignissime praeses, tota universitas praesento vobis hoscis supplicatores, in supra dictis facultatibus, ut admittantur ad proprium baccalaureae gradum, in sua quisque facultate, testorque idos, quo ad omnia, quae statuta nostra requirent, aptos e idoneos esse.
Ego adminuas et gradum baccalaureae universitate Novi Brunswicki.
You will now proceed in your assigned order onto the dais for individual acceptance. The Dean of Business Administration, Dr. Dan Coleman, will present the Bachelor of Business Administration diplomas. Bachelor of Business Administration with honors, Jody Lee Bainbridge. Heather Ashley Brown. Megan Lee Kartner. Bevan Wallace Champion. Melissa Marie Chevery. Jordan Patrick Condren. Caitlin Mary Cormier. Kendra Lee Dickinson. Amina Jirde. Benjamin Malcolm Lorne Hawkins. Christopher David Hubbard. Shalini Jagan. Allison Victoria Kane. Daniel William Keddy. Sean Douglas Durrell Lawrence. Kendra Ann Leary. Alicia Deanne Little. Kelly Nanette Love. Shabir Saifuddin Mad Bai. Catherine Lynn McKinnon. Melissa Ann McMaster. Matthew Charles Mahoney. James Ian McCavity. Craig Theodore McLaughlin. Andrew Earl Mitten. Salma Ekram Mustafa. Laura Nicole Noseworthy. Osei Osimi. Juan Carlos Alessio Pernalati. Rafael Alejandro Puente. David S. Rabinovich. Elizabeth Jane Ryu. Kayla Erin Scott. Kathleen Jean Elizabeth Thompson. Veronica Victoria Vidalin. Katie Amanda Wasson. Puming Zhou. David Brian Allen. Alexander William Bessie. Mark Francis Burke. Shauna Alexis Carroll. Lisa Gail Dobbin. Melanie Ann Doucette. Melissa Mary Galbraith. Leonie Gillingham. Lisa Laure Godbout. Hamza Ahmed Koya. Julie Michelle Lapage. Joanna Liu. Maud Asif bin Maud Salim. Spina Fatima Shahabuddin. Holly Letitia Spillman Wilson. Ali Hassan Syed. Danielle Vintamilla. Kimberly Catherine Wilson. Ashley Susan Zellward. Bachelor of Business Administration, Michael Devon Brine. Melissa Stephanie Hatasingh. Zachary David Sawyer. Justin Edwin Canham. Carolina Garris. Spencer Ramsey Guitard. Nicholas James Harding. Patrick Vincent Murphy. Nicholas Keith Allaby. Tanya Ashley Arbo. Angela Marie Aiden. Andrew Lance Bishop. Tyler Sean Brown. Mark Alexander William Browning. J. Daniel Buckler. Cheyenne Caitlin Bannister. Victoria Crystal Rosemarie Charlebois. Nicholas Jason Cochran. Mark Stewart Chase. Jeffrey James Crawford. Gregory Lee Creamer. Brett Andrew Curtis. Kurt Dedham. Nathan Blair Dominy. Megan Alyssa Ann Donovan. Jonathan Andrew David Drisdell. Ali Mokhtar Aid. Mustafa Medhat El Sakan. Wessam Emad El Din. Raymond Mark Fitzpatrick. Joel Andrew Flanagan. Michael David Floyd. Candace Marie Francis. Mahmoud Mohammed Ghanem. John Michael Gillis. James Brendan Patrick Gore. Patrick Thomas Harris. Megan Alexa Holland. Kelly Christine Holt. Charlotte Catherine Jansen Bateman. Logan Elaine Kierstead. Jenny Lee Larocque. Ryan Edward Wendell McKinnon. Brandon Scott McNeil. Mark Patrick McNevin. Christina Jean McGill. Christopher John Marshall. Kirk Kevin McCarthy. Jordan Robert Clifford McLeod. Phelan Irene McNulty. Christina Elizabeth Mignot. Justin Robert Neat. Sarah Melissa Paget. Heather Rebecca Paisley. Douglas Allen Paul. Emily Ann Louise Phillips. Patrice Adrina Phillips. Ashish David Premkumar. Clara Nicole Quinn. Fahd Alam Rad. Christopher Edward Reed. Lindsay Ann Reed. Christopher David Ryan. Why she? Islam Ibrahim Syed Ahmed. Umesh Kiran Suku. Alex Andrea Stacy. Christine Sheila Stewart. Kendra Dawn Stiles. Emily Ashley Helen Story. Andrew Darcy Taylor. Stephanie Lynn Titus. Matthew Robert Toner. Matthew John Trainer. Scott Melbourne Robert Walters. Colby Graham White. Darlene Ann Marie Williams. James Edward Wisted. Andrew Thomas Withers. Haley Christine Young. Hui Zhang. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Business Administration degree. The Dean of Kinesiology, Dr. Terry Haggerty, will present the Bachelor of Kinesiology, the Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, and the Bachelor of Recreation and Sports Studies diplomas. Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology with honors, Jillian Margaret Gilmore. Robin Hillary Hampton. Emma Catherine Hicks. Sarah Kathleen Kennedy. Jama Christine McRae. Catherine Louise Williams Smallman. Andrew Robert Thompson. Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, Danielle Renee Amiro. Brian Matthew Bodette. Colleen Marie Bourgeois. Scott Francis Bourque. Philip John Brown. Erica Marie Charlton. Christina Chase. Casey Lee Como. Allison Jessica Duggan. Sarah Elizabeth Dyer. Jeffrey Allen Grant. Claire Emily April Latremuy. Tyler Hugh McDonald. Kendra Dawn O'Brien. Megan Jean Robertson. Sarah Elizabeth Snow. Amanda Amelia Stanley. Kelsey Lynn Strudwick. Amy Elizabeth Welsh. Rebecca Irene Abenheimer. Brendan Liam Boyle. Melissa Dawn Brooks. Vanessa Jacqueline Champion. Zachary Dylan Dixon. Travis Maurice Estabrooks. Eric Gapp. Sky Jasmine Gordon. Jillian Louise Angel Grandy. Natasha Sum Hai. Brianne Justine Herbridge. Amy Beth Howard. Natalie Ann Hughes. Eric Carrison. Justin Allen Kilfillan. Ellen Margaret McLaughlin. Sean Daniel Miller. Allison Marie Moore. Amy Elaine Partridge. Craig Derek Penk. Paige Shannon Rankin. Brianne Arissa Robison. Kayla Marie Roddick. Patricia Ruby Weeks. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology degree. Bachelor of Recreation and Sports Studies with honors, Simon Timothy Leslie. Bachelor of Recreation and Sports Studies, Melissa Bryant. Andrew Michael Keddy. Vanessa Renee Peddle. Lindsay Christina Sparks. Allison Kate Trigano. Aaron David Adams. Kayla Marie Best. Bradford William Bigney. Sally Ann Marie Both. Nicholas Michael Cameron. Michelle Dawn Chapman. Corey James Chisholm. Amy Jean Cormier. Ryan Joseph Dorsey. Derek Terrence Ferguson. Mark Chesley Grant. Brittany Lane Hunter. Scott Mitchell Johnston. Stephen Jared Francis Lalancette. Anna Colleen McCarthy. Natasha May Marie Neve. Sky Christopher Purley. Scott Anthony Ritchie. Logan Albert Rush. Michael Ian Ross. Terry Lynn Ryerson. Christina Louise Saunier. Cleo Marguerite Tetro. Amanda May Marie Tidd. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Recreation and Sports Studies degree. The Dean of Education, Dr. Sharon Rich, will present the Bachelor of Education diplomas. Bachelor of Education, Alexa Christine Abbott. Emily Miriam Archibald. Megan Marie Bolton. Natasha Marie Bonner. Katie Ann Cavanaugh. Erica Marie Charlton. Alexandra Leah Clark. Anna Marie Donna Gahan Colpitz. Janine Mariette Connell. Karen Nicole Crane. Stephanie Lauren Dodge. Melissa Alvina Dreddy. John Michael Gardner. Ellen Jean Godette. Bridget Ann Greer. Kristen Joanna Hewlett. Stephanie Jane Hord. Judith Marianne Hum. David James Cannery. Stephanie Lynn Levitt. Brandon John LeBlanc. Carolyn Wheaton London. Jenny Elizabeth McDonald. Heidi Ann McLeod. Angela Dawn Mallet. Allison Deanne Marsh. Lisa Heather Marston. Krista Lynn McLaughlin. Dorothy Bernadine Melanson. Sean Hugh Andrew Morris. Seth Michael Murphy. Tara Lee O'Brien. Rhonda Jeanette Parsons. Jody Leanne Sangster. Amanda Anne Marie Saunier. Jennifer Irene Savage. Galen Scott Smith. Caroline Elizabeth Standish. Catherine Diana Steves. Jacqueline Maureen Fraser Stephen. Karen Lynn Topolnitsky. Bokya Van Heide. Charity Lynn Wark. Elizabeth Alexandra Ashworth. Julie Suzanne Beckingham. Robert Edward Bellier. Ashley Neal Bird. Nicole Marie Bruyat. Stephanie Elizabeth Brown. Christopher Brian Ross Burris. Stephanie Lynn Chapman. Aimee Lee Christie. Michelle Ann Colford. Elizabeth Alana Demerson. Danielle Lynn Dinsmore. Rose Lydia May Donovan. Melanie Dawn Drisdell. Jessica Lynn Erb. Andrew James Fraser. Kendra Christine Gardner. James Keith Gibson. Jenna Marie Gillis. Janelle Elizabeth Graham. Karen Shea Guptill. Jillian Dawn Harris. Matthew Michael Johnston. Allison Irene Kenna. Katie Suzanne King. Terry Lynn Lackey. Claire Emily April Latremois. Simon Timothy Leslie. Sarah Joanne Lindsay. Christina Gazina Marie Lowe. Matthew Barry Lynch. Desiree Dale McTavish. Luke Cyril McAdam. Jessica Crystal McKenna. Megan Lynn Merrick. Cale Owen Merrill. Barry Michael Mayer. Sarah Elizabeth Michaud. Shonda Lynn Miller. Rose Eleanor Morris. Sarah Elizabeth Mosher. Julie Lynn Munn. Brenda Lynn Murray. Anita Irene Nickerson. Jessica Rose Orr. Vanessa Renee Peddle. Kelly Ann Porter. Gary Richard Power. Michael Joseph Robichaud. Louisa Catherine Seals. Kirby Ellen Siliker. Roger Sean Target. Peter Winston Trusiak. Renata Louise Van Oord. Carrie Ann Elizabeth Warren. Denise Lynn West. Matthew James Akins. Melanie Ann Santel Billard. Emily Ann Blythe. Victoria Ann Bolton. Marcel Isidoris Bunyik. Bradley William John Carrier. Corey James Chisholm. Adrian Robert Cormier. Kyle Joseph Cormier. Lydia Ann Cecilia Cox. Deanne Dolores Craig. Matthew Neil Craig. Charles Philip DeBay. Stephanie Stacy Din. Jennifer Louise Drost. Ryan Bernard Drost. Travis Morris Estabrooks. Matthew Robert Farah. Christopher William Fudge. Jessica Marie Godet. Sarah Marie Goodine. Michael James Graham. Jillian Dawn Griffiths. Jessica Louise Hall. Robert John Hambrook. Melanie Lynn Hiscock. Christine Elizabeth Howe. Kristen Elizabeth Johnston. Louise Lockhart. Mary Frances McDonald. Margaret Suzanne McDougall. Stacy Ann Matheson. Hannah Louise Mattison. Brandon Tyler McGee. Juliana Dawn Paul. Cassandra Nadine Pose. Brianna Lane Piers. Craig Derek Pink. John Thomas Powers. Kelsey Lauren Robertson. Roland Curtis David Roberts. Ashley Marie Smith. Timothy Edward Vandenberg. Andrew Ryan Wiley. Kyle Alexander Williston. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Education degree.
We shall now confer the master's degree in course. The candidates will be presented by the Acting Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Ed Biden.
The master's degrees in Education, Arts in Sport and Recreation Administration, Arts in Sport and Recreation Studies, and Business Administration. Candidates will remain seated for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancellare, supplicant senatui et huic venerabili collegio gubernatorum, hi baccalaureae vel scholares in facultate educationis, in facultate kinesiologica, in facultate administrationis rerum negotiacerum, quorum nomina ac studia iam rite cognita sut et promulgata, ut admittantur ad proprium magistri gradum in sua quisque facultate.
Placetni vobis senatoris, placetni gubernatoris, et supplicatoris admittantur.
Placet. The supplicant for the aforesaid master's degrees will stand for the presentation and the admission by the President. Insignissime praeses tota universitas presento vobis hosca supplicatores in supradictus facultatibus ut admittantur ad proprium magistri gradum in sua quisque facultate, testorque ilios quoad omnia quae statuta nostra requirant aptos et idoneos esse.
Ego adminuas ad gradum magistri universitate Novi Brunswicki.
You will now proceed in your assigned order onto the dais for individual acceptance. The Acting Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Demetrius Trifonopoulos, will present the master's diplomas. The Master of Education, Laura Josephine Alexander. Janice Lynn Arnold. Michelle Ashfield Keefe. Rachel Elizabeth Bennett. Christina Danielle Bernier. Laura Joanne Bigger. Aaron Jean Breen Harris. Monique Angela Chevary Peltier. Brenda Kathleen Clements. Gail Karen Craswell Blanchette. Andrew Kevin James Culberson. Sheila Elizabeth Dale. Lisa Susan Davies. Jennifer Leslie Davis Burgoyne. Carla Dawn Deweyert. Mary Lou Doucette. Jill Norma Durapo. Adele Celeste Emer. Lise Ellis. Margot Harrington Emmerich. Cynthia Lee Fletcher. Stacy Lee Garland. Nicole Lee Giberson. Elizabeth Ann Glenwright. Kelly Marie Green Fillmore. Patricia Grace Green. Tammy Marie Hansen. Daryl John Hay. Bobby Joe Lynn Hickey. Eleanor Joyce. Bridget Joan Kenny. Jeffrey Robert Kirkbride. Janice Heather McLean Appleton. Norma Darlene McLean. Jeffrey Loring McGuire. Natalie Ann McCluskey. Charlene Dawn McLeod. Rosalie Joyce McMullen. Sean Robert Charles Newlands. David Mark Northrup. Stephanie Lynn Prosser. Mariuska Ramos Reyes. Lisa Paula Riley. Heather Lynn Robinson. Susan Charlotte Saunders. Janice Lorraine Shaw. Wendy Faye Sinclair. Nicole Diane Sanseur. Heather Christine Tushy Blakely. Fern Esther Tushy. Sonia Marie Travis. Catherine Lois Wheelock. Mitzi Lee Welton. Cynthia Jane Wicks. Andrea Lynn Woodward. Kyla Marion Wright. The Master of Arts in Sports and Recreation Administration, Jessica Ann Arbuckle. Christianos Mustakas. The Master of Science in Exercise and Sports Science, Kelsey Alice Marie Ford. Master of Business Administration, Edgar Galibois. Carol Jean Harward. Lisa Noreen Jones Keenan. Scott James Keenan. Eric Levesque. Heather Ann Lyons. Ashley Catherine McAllister. Ellen Elizabeth McGinnis. Christianos Mustakas. Jamie Jonathan McKillop. Karen Michelle McNeil. Robert Hugh Morrow. Ishmael Radikoko. Emily Patricia Reed. Jessica Ann Arbuckle. Wandlin Michelle Richards. Andrew Colin Riemann Robinson. Colin Malcolm Simpson. Ian Trevor Smith. Darren Ronald Weeb.
We shall now confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. The candidate will be presented by Dr. Biden.
The degree of Doctor of Philosophy, the candidate will stand for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancellare supplicat, senatui et huic venerabili collegio gubernatorum, Patricia Marion Seaman, Education Studies, Magister ut admitator ad gradum doctoris philosophiae.
Placenti vobis senatoris, placenti gubernatoris et haec supplicatrix admittantur.
Placet. The candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy will come forward and stand before the dais for admission. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancellare, tota universitas presento vobis hansin supplicatric ut admitator ad gradum doctoris philosophiae testorque illem quoed omnia quae statuta nostra requirant aptum et idonium esse.
Ego admitute ad gradum doctoris philosophiae Universitate Novi Brunswicki.
Patricia Marion Seaman. This concludes the granting of degrees in course.
And once more, congratulations to all the graduates of 2009. I've been asked to note that an English translation of your diploma has been placed inside the folder behind the parchment, if you're curious. I'd now like to invite Chris Hubbard, a member of this year's grad class committee, to the podium. Chris?
Thank you, Dr. McLaughlin. In 1990, the members of the grad class established a new tradition at UNB. They raised funds to give a parting gift to the university. This tradition is known as the Grad Class Project. And over the years, these projects have left a legacy for the future classes, including scholarships, lighting along walkways, library books, and improved access to buildings. I am very pleased to announce that the grad class of 2009 has raised more than $8,000 to establish a meeting place for students. This summer, in the McKay Promenade, below the Student Union Building, a landscape meeting place will be created. It will feature benches, a curved, thick brick wall, shrubs, and will be a great place for students to gather. On behalf of the Grad Class Committee, I would like to thank everyone who supported this year's Grad Class project. A plaque with your names will be permanently displayed in the Student Union Building. Congrats to the class of 2009, and I hope to see many of you again at an alumni get-together, and maybe even at the site of our legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and to all who have contributed to the Grad Class project. Now, the welcome to new alumni will be given by Kevin Ferguson, President of the UNB Associated Alumni. Mr. Ferguson?
You made it. It's interesting, a couple of observations. Those of you who are graduating for the second time, or perhaps the third time, walk off the stage and you kind of know what's going on and you're ready to go, ready to get out of here. Those of you who are graduating for the very first time kind of come off the stage, a little shell-shocked probably, feeling a little overwhelmed, and the thoughts that I see going through your heads an awful lot is, all right, Mom, take the picture, let's go. Anyway, congratulations to you all. I dare say that this class represents the very best UNB students that have ever been here. While you've been here, UNB's seen climbs on the Maclean's rankings like no other university in the country. While you've been here, UNB has won countless awards and championships and recognition for all of the stuff that you as students have done here. So congratulations for that, and I'll say it again, I think you're probably the very best students that UNB's ever seen. On behalf of the 63,000 alumni around the world, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the Associated Alumni. Today's definitely a time to celebrate. The degree you hold in your hand represents your accomplishments as well as all the experiences you had here on the Hill since you walked here several years ago. So enjoy all the celebrating that you'll do over the next few days, few weeks, or what have you. It's also a time for goodbye. Goodbye to the place that many of you have called home and the people who've become part of your extended family. You've left a piece, I'm sure you feel this way, a piece of your soul here at UNB, and I hope that as you leave, you'll take a little piece of UNB and a piece of Fredericton wherever you go. So now what? I have 3 pieces of advice for all of you, especially for those of you graduating today with bachelor's degrees. Harvest friendships. When all is said and done, what will matter most about your time here at UNB are the friendships that you built over those years. Invest in those over time and harvest them so that they last a lifetime. Make it count. Most of you will enter the workforce for the first time. Many of you will rejoin, and some of you haven't left. A few of you may take time to re-energize before you go off and do something else. Regardless of what you're going to do, be fully engaged in what you're doing. Seize all opportunities to make a difference. There are a lot of people who never get the opportunity to go to university at all, let alone to graduate and hold a degree or several. You have, and that will present many, many opportunities, so make it count. And finally, pay it forward. There's a good chance that many of you are here because of the generosity of someone else. It could be a parent, a relative, a friend. If you've received a scholarship or a bursary, it could very well be someone that you don't even know. I encourage you throughout your life to pay that generosity forward by supporting someone or something that matters to you. UNB, for example, has been built over the last nearly 225 years through the generosity and the giving back of UNB alumni. So remember, pay it forward to somebody else. And I'll leave you with a quote before I go. It's from Abraham Lincoln. Remember, this isn't just a goodbye, this is the beginning for a lot of you. In the end, it's not the years in your life that will count, it's the life in your years. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, again this year, the graduating class has asked that the valedictory be presented at Insignia. The valedictorian for this ceremony is Brian Badette of Whitby, Ontario, who received a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology today. Mr. Badette, I invite you to deliver the address.
Your Honor, Mr. Chancellor, Member of the Board of Governors, Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and finally, welcome and congratulations to all graduates. During our time here at UNB, there have been many exciting things that have happened that we can say we were a part of for years to come. The changes on campus have been groundbreaking and have been brought upon by the actions and behaviors of you, the students. We cannot pinpoint how these changes or when these changes started. However, what we can see is the impact that it has had on the school, the community, and ourselves. It seems that there is a common behavior that each of us possess at UNB. This behavior includes characteristics of dedication, creativity, and generosity. Behavior is one ideal that is extremely contagious among people. We can see this in the trends throughout the world's cultures, whether the group be big or small. Here at UNB, we have a culture of our own, and there have been a few behaviors that have become trends. Our generosity has been one that is unmatched by other schools. I have never heard of such a group of people that puts so much work into trying to help others. We have multiple charities that we put our efforts into. Many people focus on one official charity, but we have several. Reflecting upon this is not selfish. It reminds us of the tasks that we have at hand and pushes us to do more. We remember through reflection that this is a priority and that we must remind ourselves of the work we have done, of our habits, and to bring this habit of charity to the world. The faculties present here today, business administration, kinesiology, and education, have been lumped together at this graduation for a specific reason. All of these faculties have a specific common element. We work with people, and more specifically, we work to better the lives of people. The platform that we have built here at UNB has given us great structure to continue to branch out and affect this world in a positive way. Still reflecting on more positives, I believe that success has been the utmost contagious characteristic at UNB. Success can be defined as the completions of one's goals against a great challenge. Knowing this, there are many things that we can deem successful in the 4 years or in some cases 7 years, that we have been here at UNB. We should all show our respect to Dr. John McLaughlin, who is sitting on this stage today. He is retiring from a successful 7-year term as President and Vice Chancellor of UNB, and has done so many things for the university that has contributed to our experience here at UNB. In the past 4 years, Dr. McLaughlin has moved us into the top 5 of Maclean's Magazine's comprehensive school rankings. In doing this, he faced great challenges. At no point in the last 4 years did the other schools give up and let us into this ranking position. They were all striving to be the best that they could be. Dr. McLaughlin, his staff, and we, the students, just did a better job. This is a success. The university's athletic program has taken major steps in the 4 years that Kevin Dickey has been at the helm and is making headway to being competitive in each sport. Some sports already obtained national championships like hockey and wrestling this year. Others are in the recruiting phase, but are on the way to the same title. This is a success. The successes that we have cannot all be quantifiable and measurable like the ones I have just mentioned. I believe that there are some of you here today who are the first ones graduating from your family, and they are watching here proudly of your success. Perhaps one of you has convinced, or have been convinced by someone to not drop out of your degree and to stick with it to graduation. Defeating this challenge and watching your dream come true here today is a success. The time that you got your first A in a course here at UNB is a success. I remember graduating from high school and thinking that all these dreams and goals would go downhill once I arrived here. This was not true. We found ourselves here, lived up to these dreams, and found new goals to beat down along the way. No matter the type of success that you have had here at the University of New Brunswick, not one of you can look back at your time here and not be proud of yourself. I know that many of you had shared the same feelings that I had when coming to the University of New Brunswick for the first time. There are a lot of you who have traveled from hours or maybe days away who thought, what if I don't like it? What if I'm making a mistake? There are also many of you here today that have lived around this area your entire lives and were likely thinking, should I really be staying here? Was this the right decision? Let me just say we were scared. Then immediately, stepping on the campus, going to classes and getting involved, we found that there was nothing to be scared of and that this was the place for us. UNB has shaped us into something more than we thought we could be. Many of us have changed from the awkward, intimidated, and inexperienced teenagers that we were, and we became adults. Yes, believe it or not, we're adults. This status of adulthood cannot be solely be defined by age, but by the experiences that we have had during our time here. I would argue that each of us have experienced many more things than the average person. The reason for this is likely the size of the school. Here, you cannot hide. You cannot sit back and watch the days go by trying to focus on yourself. You are forced to get involved in one way or another, and through this process, learn some life lessons. We have come to the next step in our lives that requires a great decision. Some of us will be going off to search for jobs and start a new journey to success, while others, including myself, will continue this route through school. Whichever route we travel, we must keep the characteristics and the behaviors that we have learned here. Our world is facing some hard economic times, and the bubble that we have to protect us here will not be over us once we leave. It will not be there. But I think we should go into the world acting like it is. If we do this, knowing the past that we have, and believing the things that we have learned are going to protect us, then we will be much more confident, and we will accomplish much more in the outside world. Believing that we still have this bubble will allow us to set our goals and obtain them. We will never cut ourselves short because we are scared, and we will keep on pursuing. With this mentality, we will change the world. We all know that strength is in numbers. This has been a fact proven time and time again throughout history. Since we know this is true, we can be the solution. The 3 degrees here, business administration, kinesiology, and education, have given us the interpersonal skills to work as a team. Not just any team, though, a well-educated team. And this will be the difference in the mark that we leave on this world. We cannot stand by anymore and watch the world's hardships continue with no drastic measures taken to change it. This is our time to step up. This is our time to be the adults. The media always talks about how the young children being educated today are the heroes of tomorrow. How about we stop making them wait? Because I think we're the heroes of today. We are not like the people we once were in high school. We no longer have the fear of traveling into the world and conquering our next challenge. If we take the education that we have and the mentality that we cannot be defeated and use this to make our mark on this world, do you not think that this would be a success? We are the heroes of today. Thank you, and congratulations to all of you.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks very much. On behalf of the Board of Governors, the Senate, and the faculty, I extend to all who have received degrees here today our most sincere congratulations on your achievement and our best wishes for your future. Please join me in thanking the Enseigna Ensemble under the direction of Nicholas DeVries for providing the music for our ceremony. I'd also like to thank Sandra Howland and all those who have assisted with the arrangements for this Enseigna. Yeah. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the graduating class will plant a tree just down the hill across from the new residence on Mackay Drive. And then everyone is cordially invited to attend the Enseigna Tea in Dun Kibbit Tibbet's Dining Hall. I'd also like to mention that the Associated Alumni will be offering a diploma framing service at the same time as the tea. It's now my pleasure to invite Amy Christie, who received a Bachelor of Education degree today, and Andrea Woodward, who received a Master of Education degree, to come on up onto the platform and to lead us in the singing of O Canada. Would everyone please rise and remain in your place until the academic procession has retired.